Hello, I'm going to show you the best ways to organize your inventory for Minecraft PvP. The primary things that I'm going to be going over is the hotbar and the inventory and what they should look like. For the first kit we have Lifesteal. Lifesteal is pretty simple but also pretty complex because it's a mixture of SMP PvP and spamming them with instant damage arrows to try and kill them quickly. What your hotbar should look like is that you should have a diamond sword and preferably a diamond axe as well to deal with your opponent's shield if they bring one. If they have a tournament of Undying, then you probably won't need to bring your axe, but you can bring it anyway, because it can be necessary. You'll need cobwebs, and you'll need a water bucket to bring as well, preferably many water buckets. The water will be used to be getting out of cobweb traps, because you already have fire resistance potions to stop yourself from your fire aspect sword. You'll need ender pearls in your hotbar just for emergency situations. You'll also need your bow, very necessary, and also you need to bring golden apples, but also have a second source of food in your hotbar as well, because you only get a limited amount of golden apples and you're going to want to preserve them as long as you can by using this as your main source of healing. This means that although the hotbar is full, you'll have to make a sacrifice for your pickaxe or other items, because technically the pickaxe isn't too necessary, and if you need it you can just switch. Now for the inventory, you'll just want your things allocated as close as you can to your hotbar. So your water buckets will be close to your other water buckets in your hotbar, same with blocks, and your pickaxe can be closest to the slot that you usually have your pickaxe. Your potions can be wherever you want in your inventory, but just keep them grouped and far away from everything else to make sure that you don't mess up. Now for the arrows of harming, you can do an interesting strategy here. You notice how I have my main amount of instant damage arrows here, my regular arrow here, and another instant damage harming arrow over here. Now why am I doing this? Basically how arrows work in Minecraft is that the arrows closest to the top left of the screen are going to be the one that gets shot out first, and then it'll go down, and then it'll go down all the way down to here. And once those arrows run out, the next arrow stack that is closest to the top left will be chosen next. So when you happen to run out of arrows, and you run out, it'll now switch to the normal arrow. However, because you have infinity on your bow, it'll keep shooting and shooting until your bow eventually breaks, which it probably won't. So if you need more arrows in a time sensitive situation that you've just killed someone, you can easily pick up the arrows with the backup arrow that's behind the regular arrow. And then once you have free time, you can easily just replace it and keep on fighting with your new arrows, without having to risk not picking it up and losing those arrows to an opponent in that time sensitive situation. That's basically it for the Lifesteal kit. The next kit is Manhunt kit, or basically a more free version of UHC with natural regeneration on. Manhunt kit is really random, so you just have to assault them the best you can. For my hotbar, I just have the regular UHC items that you would regularly have, except I replace the bow with pearls because I already have a crossbow. With the inventory, it's really jumbled up, so you basically just want to assort it as best as you can. So I have my pickaxe where my pickaxe would usually go, I have my swords where they would go, I have my rails here, right where my TNT minecarts would go, so then I can switch these items and I can quickly go cart PvP mode. I also have all my explosives items here, as well as the flint and steel nearby. Then I have my lavas and waters to each other, I have my cobblestone, I have my food next to each other as well. I have all my enchanting items near each other, the books, the lapis, the enchanting table, and then the rest of the items that I don't know what I'm going to do with, I'll just have in the middle. However, a smart thing to do is to have your oak planks right here in this slot, because when you open your inventory, your oak planks are going to be right here, and you don't even have to move your ass. So you can quickly just open your inventory, do this, and do whatever crafting you need to do if you're playing in a mode where you can actually craft, like a UHC. So that's it for Manhunt kit. The next kit we have is the SMP kit. Now the SMP kit is a pretty complex kit because it can be managed in many different ways, but I usually manage my hotbar with my pearls, 3 different sets of potions, my sword, my axe, if my opponent has a shield, I always have an axe, the bow as well just in case, as well as a totem in your hotbar as well, just in case something bad happens and you need to quickly put a totem on, or if you're panicking and have been popped, you can hold the totem in your hotbar just to make sure you're safe while you realize what's going on in the fight, and also your golden apples. The inventory of this kit is a little more complex, but basically you want everything organized as clear as possible. You want to have your potions as clear as they can be, because your potions are pretty hard to tell apart. Basically, you want your potions as easy to spot as possible, so when you throw potions, you can put in 2 more potions back in the spot where they were as quick as possible in a fight. I usually have the potions on the right side of my inventory because speed and strength potions mainly go here in my hotbar, so it makes sense. And my other items such as pearls stay near the pearl slot, and my totems, shield, arrows, experience bottles and other stuff go on the left side. With this kit you can choose to have a shield in your offhand or a totem. If you use a shield, that can be more defensive, however it's a more risky option because if you get quip dropped, you'll have to be quick to equip a totem, otherwise you could get killed just like that. That's the SMP kit done. The crystal PvP kit has to be one of the most complex kits, however it can be organised quite well. So for your hotbar you'll need your sword and preferably a pickaxe or a crossbow. I choose pickaxe because I don't like to use my crossbow and arrows or slow falling much, because it's not very useful. You'll need anchors. I'd always keep a totem of undying in your hotbar, because trust me, it's very necessary for double handing. You need your crystals, your anchors and glowstone, your obsidian and golden apples. It's preferred that you don't use enchanted golden apples because even though they are stronger, once you get popped once, it'll be wasted completely. For the inventory though, it can get a little more creative and open, so this is how I do it. I usually have my totems in a fashion where it is 2 times however many totems I need, across like this. This is because, say I pearl into a guy who just died, and I want to steal his items, I can quickly throw my totems out of my inventory in a circular fashion like this. If I had my totems more like a giant circle or rectangle, I'll have to throw it in a more random order, and it'll be a little bit more confusing. Having it this way keeps it more organised and practical, and then I have all my other items revolving around my totems of undying. For your potions, it's better to have it all organised and together rather than to randomly spread it throughout the bottom layers. That's why they're all together like this. And of course you keep a spare stack of end crystals and obsidian. Just like with the Lifesteal kit, you can use your bottles of enchanting and have 1 extra enchanting bottle left out here, because most of the time you're more likely going to kill a player before you have to heal your armor again. So if you do kill them, you'll be able to immediately pick up at least a stack of bottles of enchanting, which you can then use later to heal yourself up, because with most kits you only get 2 stacks of bottles of enchanting, which is quite impractical in my opinion because healing your armor takes around 3 stacks. And if you have any more inventory space, just fill it to the brim with totems of undying. Now to diamond crystal. Diamond crystal is a lot different to netherite crystal PvP, because number 1 you don't get anchors, and number 2 you get diamond armor, and so your inventory will be more revolved around your potions rather than your totems of undying. So for your hotbar, you have the same as crystal PvP, however since you don't have glowstone or anchors, you can now replace them with potions. And for your inventory, you want to keep your small amount of totems that you have lathered where they usually are, and your potions can basically go anywhere as long as they are all in one spot and organised well. You can then have your pearls near your pearl slot, and you can do the same thing with your bottles of enchanting as you did with the regular crystal PvP kit. And because I have so many potions all up here, I'll have to move my end crystals and obsidian down here. So the kit is basically organised almost perfectly to my keybinds and my hotbar. The bow is necessary because you can knock your opponent back. Oh! No! Get away! The arrows don't even work! Next we have the Eggwars kit. The Eggwars kit is also a pretty complex kit, but it's pretty easy to understand. For my hotbar, I like to have my sword, a pearl, my pickaxe, my bow, my enchanted golden apples, and my blocks. I usually choose obsidian over lime terracotta because it's a lot stronger. I also do the same thing with the XP bottles and the arrows with the obsidian by taking one out and leaving it here. So if I kill someone, I'll be able to take more obsidian. I also keep 3 pieces of armor in my hotbar. I keep my helmet because that breaks first in my same slot as I put my totem because I can hotkey to it the fastest. And then I have my iron boots, which breaks next. I have my iron leggings, and by then I'll probably be able to put my iron chestplate here because that breaks last. And I keep the armor sets all organized like this. The blocks go over here, the arrows go over here, and I like to put my golden apples in my offhand because it's the most practical and the fastest way to heal, as well as being able to swing with the sword right after healing. The next kit is Netherite Pot. Netherite Pot, I prefer to keep my golden apples in my offhand instead of my totem, because it basically allows me to perform better because I can quickly heal and also quickly attack, without having to quickly switch between my keybinds a whole lot. Because I have golden apples in my offhand instead of totems, I like to keep a totem in my hotbar, so in case I'm about to die, I can quickly eat while having a totem if I'm dying in my offhand. So if I do pop before I eat a golden apple, I'll have my totem there to save me instead of me just dying. When I first start fighting, I'll throw these, and so I'll have 5 instant health potions and 2 splash potions of swiftness and strength, all organized as well. Got 9 instant health potions over here with 1 little outlier over there, as well as my bottles of enchanting, my fire resistance potions, and 2 tons of undying. I would put a singular one here, but yet again, there's really no place I would want to put it because I don't want to sacrifice any more potions. Not to mention it takes a long time to kill someone in Netherite Pot anyway, so there's not much point in doing that. For Diamond Pot, it's even more simple. Just have your food in your offhand, have your pearls where you would usually put your pearls, and just fill your thing with potions of instant health. And I like to always have speed and strength at the last 2 slots as well, because it's much easier to just have 5 of these and be able to quickly re-put them in my inventory during battle, rather than to have all 7 of my slots being potions. And so when I need to go pot up again, I don't have to go switch through my inventory just to go throw it again. Next up is the sword kit. It's pretty self-explanatory. Just keep your freaking sword in your hotbar and keep your armor on you. That's it. Jeez, this guy has reach.
Oh, hell no, man.
The next kit is cart PvP. For cart PvP, I like to put my minecart with TNT and also my rails at the same slots I do my respawn anchors and glowstone. That way I don't have to relearn a new muscle memory for cart PvP. I could just re-remember my crystal PvP muscle memory using minecarts with rails because it's literally the exact same thing. Have your sword, your bow with flame, your cobwebs. You can bring your axe, however, my axe usually goes there, but this overrides it, so you'll have to put your axe somewhere else. I have my blocks, my water pocket to make sure that no one cobwebs me, and also your golden apples. For your inventory, you just have all your TNT minecarts all in one spot. You have all your blocks and water nice and fit together. Your totems, just fit them wherever you can. I had to put them here. The next kit is UHC. UHC is pretty self-explanatory as well. For the hotbar, you just want your sword, your axe, your bow, your crossbow, as well as cobwebs, lava bucket, water bucket, your blocks, and also golden apples. Now I prefer golden heads as the main thing over golden apples. I just like it here because it's better for the first encounter. Now you don't have to put these blocks exactly where you might put my blocks. These are all due to my keybinds. You can just put these items wherever you have keybinds and wherever they feel comfortable. Like I have my cobblestone, my blocks as my F key. My sword, my bow, and my cobwebs are all just 1, 2, and 3 because they're right next to my WASD. So yeah, you can basically customize the hotbar to your own keybinds. Now for the inventory. This kit also makes it so you have to sacrifice your pickaxe and have it in your inventory. However, it's still very easy to whip out in case you need it in a fight. To mention, the lavas are together, the waters are together, the blocks are together, and the healings together. It's a very basic kit. Last but not least is Axe Shield. Axe Shield is really basic and there's nothing you need to do about it. It's literally just armor here, shield there, keep your crossbow and bow where you would usually have them, and make sure the crossbow is really easily accessible with your keybinds, and have your sword and your axe where they usually go, and keep your bows visible in your hotbar so that you can keep track of how many arrows you have without having to look in your inventory. Also, this guy wanted to be in my YouTube video, so I guess I'll have him here. So that's all the primary kits in 1.9 that I've covered with you. I hope you learnt something from this guide, and I thank you for watching. Bye bye.